that you're having a great day. Today, we are going to do a hips and hamstring mobility routine. So the hips and hamstrings play a big role in the calisthenics world. If you want that nice L-sit, you need some open hamstrings and some strong hip flexors. So today, we're just gonna focus on loosening up those areas. To kind of warm up, we're gonna start with some hip circles. We're gonna do some squats and we're gonna do some forward folds. We'll do one round of 5 repetitions of each. So we'll start with our hip circles. Your feet can go a little bit past shoulder width. And we'll just go 5 rotations with the hips in one direction. Just breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. That was 4. And when you come around for 5, just come back around. Just breathing. If you've seen SpongeBob, this is that bring it around town movement right here. So we'll go for 5 repetitions in each direction, and then simply we're just gonna go for 5 reps of squat. So I know some people aren't gonna have a full deep squat. If you need assistance, grab a chair or use a wall, but just try to come as deep as you can, all right? So that would be for number 1, and we'll just go 4 more. I'm gonna go at my own level, just kind of move around at the bottom, come up for number 2, down for 3, up, now we're on number 4, and up, and then 1 more, number 5, and we can stand tall. All right, now we're just gonna go 5 reps of some forward fold, and this is just gonna focus on the hamstring. We really wanna focus on keeping our back flat as we reach versus letting our upper back round, okay? In today's society, we're already typing and texting and hunching over too much, so we wanna try to keep that back nice and flat so we can focus on those hamstrings. So bring our feet together and we'll go 5 repetitions here. You can have a slight bend in your knees. Try to keep that back flat. Sink as deep as you can. Come tall. Even if you're here, this is totally fine. Just breathe. You can try to sink a little bit deeper. And with each rep and each day that you do this, your body will slowly start opening up. It's just a process. There's number 3, I believe. Might have lost count. Coming back down for number 4. Up, and then we'll go 1 more. Number 5. So the forward fold is just an essential movement that I recommend for most people to try daily, just to open up those hamstrings, especially if you're sitting a lot. It's easy to get locked up in the hamstrings and the hip flexors. So we're gonna call that our little warm up for our hips and hamstrings, and now we're gonna get to the real mobility routine. So first thing we're gonna do is come down to a push-up position. And we're gonna do just downward dog calf runs to kind of stretch the hamstrings and warm up the ankles. So we're gonna go for 20 total repetitions, and that will be 10 runs on each side. So you can come to a push-up position, push to a down dog, bend your knees as much as you need, and then from here, try to force that calf to the ground for a rep. That'll be 1, and then here's 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and really trying to force that calf down, the heel. That's 7, 8, 9, 10. If you feel the need to hold it longer, that's totally fine too. Take this at your own pace. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Very nice. So that's just gonna get our calves nice and warmed up, get the ankles kind of working, work on that dorsiflexion. Next, we're gonna come to a seated position, and we're going to do hip internal rotations. So I'll come front and center here. I'm pulling my shoulders back. My shoulders aren't rounded forward, and we're gonna go for 10 total repetitions here, which is simply your knees are up tall, and we wanna drop one knee to where we can create this 90-90 angle right here. So you don't want to be too close where you're touching. So create some space here, and you'll come back to center, and we can turn and internally rotate again. So that'll be number 2. And then we're simply just gonna drop again for 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, and number 10. So we can come back center now. So we're gonna do that same exact movement, but now we're gonna add a twist and a fold to it. So let's perform that the same exact way. We'll go 10 total repetitions, 5 on each side. So our chest is tall, we internally rotate. Again, if your foot is touching, just try to pull it out to this 90 angle here. And this is where we're gonna turn towards your lead knee, and then you can fold over and drop for 1 rep. And we'll come back to center, turn again, you can fold over for rep number 2. And then we'll just keep flowing here all the way to 10. 3, I am using my hands to get across. This is for slight assistance. Here's number 4. This can be done with no hands. I only recommend it for more experienced people because it is a little bit more challenging. Just kind of sink down in these positions. That was number 5. Here's number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That is a great opener for the hip flexors and the hamstring at the same time. And always, if you feel like you need to do more repetitions of any of these movements, please feel free to do so. All right, so we're gonna keep on moving, and we are gonna come to our deep squat position. Now again, I know some people aren't gonna fully have a deep squat, so you may have to get a chair or a wall or be next to something that you can assist yourself with. But if you can't get down deep into a squat, one of the best ways to get deeper into it is simply just doing wall walks and trying to get deep. And that added weight is just gonna help stretch and let you feel more comfortable in that position. Just gonna assume that we're comfortable here, kind of rocking side to side. And we're gonna stay on the internal rotation of our hips. So now we're gonna try to drop our knee to our opposite toe. And we'll just go for 10 repetitions. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, you can assist with your hands. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we can stand tall, shake out the hip flexors, relax for a second. Now we're gonna come to the ground and we're gonna come to a runner stretch. So for here, we're gonna come back to our push-up position and we're gonna go for 10 total reps here, 5 on each side. So come to your push-up position here and you're gonna simply run your right leg to the outside of your right hand. Pause for a second, extend this leg so we don't want it down. Extend so we get the stretch in both sides. This right leg will come back and then our left leg will come up by our left hand. Hold here for a second and that'll be number 2. And we'll just go all the way to 10. Just hold for a second for 3. Then back for number 4. Here we go for number 5. Just keeping a nice breathing pattern the whole time. In through the nose, out through the mouth. We're on number 7 right here. Goes number 8. Number 9. And number 10. If you feel like you need to hold it in these positions on the last rep, that is totally fine too. All right, so there's 10 reps of runner stretch. Now we're gonna do a runner stretch, but it's gonna be like a lunge and a hamstring variation. So we'll do 5 repetitions on each leg. So to start this off, you can come to your push-up position here. We're gonna do the runner stretch. So run that one leg up here. This back leg that is extended, and now I can drop this back knee. So my back knee is dropped, you can pull your chest tall. You should feel a stretch in the hip flexors on this leg and on the back leg. So from here, we're going to hinge forward. So I'm actually laying my chest onto the top of my knee. You can assist with your hands on the ground. And we're gonna do 5 repetitions where we're in a lunge and then you push back to the hamstring stretch. Trying to keep your belly button low to the quad and then come back forward. Notice my chest is still touching for number 2. And then back again. Just breathing through. Here comes number 3. Sinking deep. Number 4. And number 5. All right, so to get our opposite side, we can come back to push-up position here. Take our right leg, run it to the outside of the right hand. This back knee is extended, and then we can drop it down. So our chest comes tall. We hinge at our hips so that our chest can meet the knee. And now that we're here, we're in this nice lunge, and then you can push through to this hamstring stretch, trying to keep this belly button close to the quad. You don't want to be hunching down, trying to stay neutral spine. Come back to a lunge for number 2. Back. Again for 3. Back. And you want to be breathing the entire time. Try to be relaxed. The more that you tense up, the harder that it's going to be to loosen up. And here we go for number 5. And relax for a second. So let the hips and hamstrings relax for a second, and we're going to keep on moving. So next, we're going to be doing stuff for time. So we're going to sink a little bit deeper into some poses, and we're going to be holding for 30 seconds in each position. Again, if you need to go longer, please feel free to go longer. Go up to 2 minutes in each position, take a rest, and then repeat it again. So first, we're going to do a butterfly stretch. So with the butterfly stretch, we're going to connect your feet together. Try to pull them in as close as you can to your center. Pull your chest tall. We really don't want to be hunched down, so try to pull your chest as tall as you can. Shoulders back, and if you can try to force your your knees closer to the ground by slightly leaning forward and pushing into the ground here. Or maybe you go one at a time and you can push it. Breathe. Release. Push it down. Breathe and try to keep my chest tall, not trying to hunch down. Chest is tall. Or you can simply just hold it and try to just force it down with your hip flexors. All right. So the next movement we're going to go into is the frog. So it's the opposite of the butterfly. So we're sitting up now. We're simply going to come around here. We're in a tabletop position here. Right knee can go out, left knee can go out. Notice my toes are facing out this way, so I'm not on top of my toes. Both the feet are facing out to the opposite direction. So here, you're just trying to spread the hips. You can drop the forearms if you need. If you need, stay up tall. If you can, drop those forearms here. And just breathe. Trying to let the feet slide out. Let them slide out. Trying to let those hips get lower. And with each exhalation, you can just try to sink a little bit deeper into this pose. Gonna hold for about 5 more seconds here. Just breathing. All right, and our 30 seconds is up. We can come out of there and we can come to a seated position. So we're in a seated position and we can pull one leg in. So we're getting a hip flexor stretch on this side and a hamstring on our opposite side. We're gonna do a simple static stretch here, which is just a single leg fold. And we're gonna go for 30 seconds. So here, as all the cues have went before, we really don't wanna hunch down. So keep that back tall. Try to just bring that belly button to that quad. And just breathe in here. Really don't try to grab your toes. If you can, that's totally fine. But I see a lot of people who know that the goal is to try to get closer to the toes. So in doing so, they end up hunkering down. You'd rather just grab here at the calf and pull with a flat back a little bit deeper. So that is 30 seconds on that side. Now we'll alternate. So flip to this side, pull that leg in, chest is tall. Again, not trying to hunch down, so back is flat. And just breathe, and we're gonna hold this. You can inhale, and then with each exhale, try to sink a little deeper. And if it starts to get too challenging, you can just back off a little bit and then get right back into it. Okay, you can release that. Take a little water break really quick. Okay, so next we have 2 more drills, all right? So now we're gonna get the hip flexors and hamstrings at the same time. We're in a seated position. You can spread the legs to a comfortable distance here. And for some of us, if you're new to this, you may need assistance. I have some pillows here just to kind of show, and you can place these out front. So the legs are spread at a comfortable distance, and all I'm simply doing is trying to keep my back flat and just reach forward. These pillows will help you keep your chest tall versus trying to hunch down. So the simple goal here, we're just trying to reach out with a flat back. I'll come to the side so we can see a different angle here. Reaching out. Trying to sink a little bit deeper. For some of us, it's not going to take much. Just simply being in this position might be enough. If you're super challenged, you may have to elevate your hips. So you come onto an elevated surface. This will take some of the stress off the hamstring and the hips and allow you to get a little bit deeper. All right, so 2 more stretches, or 1 more stretch, and then we are done. So this last one is gonna be to focus on the piriformis and the glutes. And I love this stretch because, man, you're just able to lay here. It requires nothing. So we'll lay flat on the ground here. My knees are bent from here. You can bring one leg up, propping it on my knee. Take both my hands, run it through underneath, and then pull this knee as close to you can to you. For some of us, you're already right where you need to be. Pulling through, you're gonna feel a nice stretch in the glute right here. And for some of us, if you need a little bit more, you can take this top foot and then flex it. So notice my toes come towards the camera here, and then you can pay attention to this knee. I try to push it out as I'm pulling. And this just adds a lot more tension to that piriformis. So we can hold this for another 5 or so seconds, laying down flat. You don't need to be up here like this, just stay laying flat. All right, we can drop that. Opposite leg comes up, run those hands through, pull that knee as close as you can towards the chest. For some of us, we're already where we need to be. If you need more, flex this top foot back and try to force that heel out, or the knee out. And with all these, we're gonna have one side that's gonna be a lot tighter. This is very common. If that's the case, spend a little bit of extra time focusing on the weak side so you can fix the imbalance. Just holding and breathing, trying to pull back. You'll notice if you don't pay attention, you can end up easily passive right here. So trying to pull back all the way through. All right, there we have it. So that was a quick hips and hamstrings routine. I hope that you enjoyed. Doing this routine daily will guaranteed open up the hips and the hamstrings, making L-sits easier, pistol squats easier. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and share with a friend. Thank you.